as their apparel provider. And this has caused quite the stir on social media as fans are very brand loyal and many detest the idea of going back to Adidas. So I did a little bit of digging. I wanted
to know why. Why do people hate going to Adidas?
Well, that part I don't know. But as far as UCF's relationship to Adidas, it's amazing to me how many fans out there, just thumbing through some of the threads that I've seen, how passionate some people get about the brand that is on the jersey that UCF wears. I really was blown away. This story's been out there for like 72 hours. And it had to like marinate where I'm like, I think people really care about this. And so I wanted to talk about it for that reason. I don't personally, but if other people out there are fired up about it, then let's go. December 2009, after a long dispute over Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's son, who refused to wear Adidas. So back then, UCF was an Adidas school.
Yeah.
And he refused to wear an Adidas shoe because of his dad, for obvious reasons. And UCF, they started to have some form of like a contentious relationship. This sort of played out over several months, but I'm shortening it here. UCF formally ended its relationship with Adidas in 2009, December of 2009. The school and Adidas honored the terms of their contract through August 25th. So it was June 30th, 2010 is when I think they officially split. And UCF was then on the search for a new shoe and apparel partner, and they've been with Nike ever since.
Right.
That is how all of that happened. And Nike has served UCF very well. Think of the Scott Frost era that was ushered in, the relationship that he already had with Nike being in Oregon, and that's their base. And so he helped design, I don't know how much he was in the design process, but it was his influence coming from Oregon that helped UCF go from a school that had kind of boring uniforms to what we see now, the space uniform and all these different threads, the all whites, the helmets that we saw this weekend with the Knights cursive on the side. You know, Nike has some involvement in how that goes because they're the ones that are actually providing the apparel. Is this something that fans should care about, and should you take the extra money to go with what is perceived as a lesser brand?
I don't think it's anything that I think it's okay for fans to care. I don't think it's anything that somebody needs to get bent out of shape over. Here's my only concern. Going with Adidas, getting more money, magnificent. If you are going to look less cool, and I mean in terms of the design of the uniforms that you're wearing, if in any way, shape, or form you're going to look less cool because of that, then I wouldn't go with Adidas. But Adidas has shown themselves to be able to make great uniforms. They make uniforms for Miami for years. They made uniforms for a lot of different basketball teams for years. They can keep up with the design aspect, the new age design aspect that we've gotten used to at UCF ever since Scott Frost came around. So the whole idea of going with Adidas is a lesser brand. I mean, it's a shoe. As long as the shoe is comfortable and it helps you jump, run, and turn the way you're supposed to, I don't have too much of a problem with it. I do understand some people live and die by their sports apparel brand, but this is UCF that we're talking about. I think, and to be honest with you, if we're going to, and I know nobody's asked me about this, so I haven't been able to give a formal introduction of this, but if we're going to go with the Rebel Without a Cause brand, Adidas is who we need to go with. In fact, we might want to call up Reebok, who Shaq just bought back, and say, what do you have for us?
Slow down on that.
Because going with Nike isn't the rebel, the bad boy, the you don't want us in your conference kind of brand. You want to go with somebody who's a bit of an outcast.
If you're considering yourself the future of college football, with all due respect to Reebok, which might be on the comeback, you cannot sign with Reebok if you're the new era of college football. Just like New Balance is out of the question. You know, you can't be a Skechers school if you're the new age of college football. And I think Nike does fit that because Nike has forever been, since we've been kids and Michael Jordan became a thing, Nike has been the it brand. And if UCF, if we're saying that they're the it school, then Nike should be the one that you stick with.
I disagree. I'm so surprised that we're arguing about this. But I completely disagree because I think if you're going to go down the road of the future of college football, Nike is the old elderly brand that's been around forever. Yeah, you're established. We know who you are, but you're not the future of college football. I think this is actually an opportunity for UCF to have Adidas embrace them in that. Because if you stick with Nike, you know what you're going to get, what you've always gotten. But if you go with Adidas and you really run down this future of college football thing, you could be the poster child for everything football.
See, this is the group of five mentality that we're trying to get out of. Adidas is a group of five shoe brand.
Are you kidding me? I don't want to be just another one lumped in with everybody else.
That's what Power Five is. You're just that's where you're at right now. Nike, yeah, you might be third tier on Nike, but third tier on Nike is still a higher floor in the skyscraper than tier one with Adidas.
Crazy. I'll take the top floor at Adidas going into a new conference to stir up a whole lot of trouble. Who's that just went undefeated in the Big 12? UCF and Adidas. That's who it was.
You're right. I can't believe we're arguing about this. Text in what you think. Who should UCF sign with their apparel branding? 50857. Anthony Treesh from PFF.com with the elite college football performers through 2 weeks and his thoughts on the Gators' chances of beating Bama on Saturday. That is next.
You're listening to In the Zone on 96.9